Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1, and welcome to the news. I hope you enjoy this beautiful scenery. The Democrats are trying to push through a bill in the Senate to give 6.5 million illegal immigrants amnesty. 3 million of these would receive lawful permanent resident status, which would then be a pathway to U.S. citizenship. Also, they want to drop a requirement so they could give $3,600 to each illegal immigrant child, and this would cost $10 billion. Hopefully, Republicans can stop this in the Senate. Also, 82,000 people that were removed from Afghanistan with the air flights were not vetted at all. 86% of these were not even U.S. citizens or had any special immigrant visa. So how many terrorists or criminals did we bring over? Moderna's revenue for the third quarter was $4.97 billion. $4.97 billion. $4.81 billion was from the jab. The Israeli jab czar said that they are thinking about making mandatory for everyone in Israel. President Biden is considering a 7-day quarantine for all travelers returning to the U.S. Even a negative test or fully jabbed does not matter. You will still have 7 days of quarantine. Fully jabbed LeBron James has tested positive for COVID. The Turkish lira lost 25% of its value against the U.S. dollar in November alone. Sudan is having protests. Military coup occurred about over a year ago, and the people want civilian rule restored. The elections are scheduled for July of 2023, but many are saying this is too long. Also, Russian Putin warned NATO not to deploy troops and weapons to Ukraine. This would be a red line not to be crossed. Also, the commander of the U.S. 7th Fleet has called for an expanded presence of U.S. and allied aircraft carriers. He said 4 is good, but 8 would be better. Also, they're going to improve the airfield and infrastructure in Guam and Australia. These are going to be improved to counter the Chinese expansion. So ground and logistical forces will be going to Australia. Guam will receive large additional fuel and ammunition storage. This information came from an open source unclassified report. There is also a classified report with many more changes that we will not know about. Finally, the U.S. Appeals Court on Tuesday reinstated the California ban on high-capacity magazines, and this was by a 7-4 vote. They said it is reasonable means to reduce gun violence and to stop mass shootings. The 7 that violated our Second Amendment were all appointed by Democratic presidents. The 4 that stood for the Second Amendment were nominated by Republican presidents. Thanks for listening to the news.